today at 4 on WCNC TV 36.
Unlimited modified class is exactly that, unlimited. Looking at the NTPA rulebook, it says no portion of a modified tractor may exceed 14 feet forward of the center rear wheel. That's basically the only rule. You can put whatever you want on that modified tractor to make it go down the 300-foot strip. We've seen all kinds of power plants. It's up to the builder's imagination because they really have not many rules to go by other than weight. It's got to be at least 9,200 pounds. Jim Brockman out of New Haven, Indiana, representing the In-Laws and Outlaws Kodiak pulling team. Jim Brockman has been a name in NTPA pulling for a number of years. Started off in the mini class, then moved up in the two-wheel drive, served as the chairman of the two-wheel drive divisional committee. But now he's moved to the ultimate level in pulling, the unlimited modified class. 12 years of experience in all of the different classes. Now, there's some people saying Jim Brockman did well in the minis, did well in the two-wheel drives, and has got the potential to do well in the unlimited class. If he could capture Grand National Championship this year, he would be the first man in the history of motorsports and professional truck and tractor pulling to capture division titles in 3 different classifications and divisions. This is his first hook in the unlimited class. Jim Brockman. Sled comes down on Jim Brockman. A great run, pretty straight line. 272 feet, 3 inches. Jim Brockman in the Kodiak right there. A nice straight run, lots of horsepower. We've talked about the track kind of drying up a little bit. But Jim Brockman, let's take just a little bit of analysis here on the track condition.
Track is a little bit rough, but basically I think it's going to be a good track. It's a beautiful day. We got a good crowd on hand, and we got a lot of tough equipment here. I just hope that we can hold on to that pole. That was a good run, but boy, I tell you, it's tough out here.
Steve Jaske, the unlimited modified class champion on the NTPA Copenhagen School Grand National Circuit 1 year ago. Miller High Life sponsored out of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Homemade chassis. He's the son of Bud Jaske, who competes in 2- and 4-wheel drive. Been in the sport 6 years and has had great success. Arius engines mounted onto this one right here in the unlimited class. Bolt them on and go for it. Unlimited modified pulling. The heaviest motorsport on wheels. Spots the sled just about the middle of the track. And this is going to be loud as he kicks them Arius' engines into gear, all running in sync, getting the torque just right, and he is ready to roll. Shuts it down, the front tire comes off, and Jaske lands it down hard, just feet away from the outside wall as he comes back down. Steve Jaske definitely disappointed with what has happened, but you learned something from that particular run. He knew he was going out of bounds, knew that the tractor was going to veer that particular way, and instead of taking it out, the barriers or the fans or anything else, he takes himself right out of the running, puts the brakes on hard. The front end of the tractor came down very heavy. Lots of damage to the front end of that Miller High Life Special, but Steve Jaske, true sportsman and competitor that he is, thinking about safety, dumps the tractor out. It's an unfortunate situation, but Steve Jaske will definitely be back sometime in the future. A real great story right here. Allison Aircraft Engines. Mike Holden has been pulling professionally for 21 years. Out of Marietta, Ohio, representing Dusty Diamond Pulling Team. He's finished in the top 10 in final points the past couple of years. Never won an event lately, but he is up against turbine engines, big block engines, Rodak engines, big block Chevy engines, but Mike Holden says he will never change. He will run the Allison until he's finished pulling. You change a lot of spark plugs on this engine, and Mike Holden says he'd rather do that sometimes than pull. Haven't made Allison engines for a number of years, so everything on this tractor Mike Holden has made, with the exception of the tires. Mike Holden, 275 feet and 1 inch, takes the new lead right now. Mike Holden, Dusty Diamond pulling team, puts it in first place. As the old Allison engine kind of cools off right now, Mike Holden has done a great job. Came out, looked like he read the track pretty well, came from one side to the other side, and as he unbuckles, he's probably thinking, I still love those Allison aircraft engines. Mike Holden, nice bit of running right there. You look a little bit warm.
Yeah, it's pretty hot up here. Pretty excited to get a good run on this tractor, and you know, it's been a long weekend, kind of wet, and we're real tickled to get a run.
Well, a great run like that, you've taken the lead in the class.
Yeah, well, you know, there's an awful lot of good tractors back there, and all things yet to be seen, but we're real proud of what we got and appreciate coming here.
You still love the Allison aircraft engine?
I didn't know there was another engine.
Mike Holden, the Dusty Diamond, telling it like it is, 275 and 1. Gardner Stone brings it up. The General Stage 4. We go from an Allison engine now to a jet turbine engine. Actually, a turbine engine. Gardner Stone, 13 years of experience running 4 T55 turbine engines. Concentration, a big part. You've got to make sure that dust doesn't get into those turbines, because that can cause all kinds of problems. Mike Holden has set the distance to beat 275 feet and 1 inches. Gardner Stone will hook up on the right side and will actually pull from right to left. And the General right now continues to stage. Gardner flips down the black back lid, locks it shut, prepares to set dials, gauges, gets it dialed in, and he will start to build boost. The green flag comes out from the NTPA tech officials. Gardner Stone's crew chief over on the left side taking a look to make sure that all engines fire up as they bring them up one at a time. Lots and lots of technology right here, which will produce lots and lots of horsepower. Little tiny aircraft wheels on the front, big giant pulling tires on the back, and in between a power plant like none other. We'll see what happens right now as Gardner Stone has got green flags out, but being very patient, not going to hurry anything, continues to build boost to produce horsepower, and the General is cleared for takeoff. For Gardner Stone, 274 feet and 8 inches. 5 inches shy of the leader, Mike Holden. Gardner right now sitting in second place, about 5 inches shy. How's the General running?
Well, the General was backfiring a little bit, as you saw. Its compressor stall. We lost one motor, but there's some stiff competition here, and there's a lot of good runners, and I expect to probably get beat out of second place.
You know, we've talked a little bit about it, but explain maybe a compressor stall.
Well, we got a lot of dirt in the motors last night. We had to make 2 pulls, and every so often, 2 or 3 pulls, you should be washing the insides of the motor out, because it collects dust and dirt, and it hampers the airflow across the fins. So the motor is not, it goes back to idle, does not run right.
You'll be back.
Definitely will be back.
A pretty good run right now, holding for second spot.